Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another NTW 3 Battlefield here today, and we do have a historical battle on our hands here, as we do have the Battle of Wissembourg, fought in 1793 between the HRE and the French Republic, about to take place. And the French were actually, well, sorry, I should say the HRE are not alone. They've got the French émigrés, which are the old sort of regime, the troops that could not stand fighting for the Republic and were loyal to the Royalists. They are fighting in today's game. And actually, is like noted in this battle, we do have quite a lot of French émigré units here today. We even have Rohan here, apparently. Rohan Friend Light Infantry. Anyway, they're attacking some troops outside of the building here. This is the age of bicorns and everyone wearing silly wigs. This is, yeah, one of the earlier battles that we've ever probably done for a historical battle, 1793. Long time before the Napoleonic Wars really got underway. I'm not quite sure which of the Battle of Wissembourg is supposed to be, because there's a first and a second battle. I think it is the first, because the HRE are on the attack in this one, while the French are sort of on the offensive in the second one. And so yeah, if this is the first Battle of Wissembourg, and this is a Austro-Allied victory in this one. It's a pretty big battle, actually. Both sides have tens of thousands of troops. The Austrians, or the HRE, I'll probably end up going the Austrians, have 42,000 troops against 51,000 French, led by Jean-Pascal Carlenc, while the HRE are led by a guy called Dagobert Bourbons. Two generals I've never heard of, and this is also a battle I really don't know a lot about. At all, to be honest, but yeah, it's yeah, pretty much just a main assault is led by Worms against a fortified French position, which I guess is maybe this LOC here. We're on Friedland, but it might be Heinrich Dorf, I think that is. That's supposed to be over there. And yeah, they breached the line, and it then forced the French to withdraw. The French lose about 2,000 men killed, and then about 1,000 captured, along with 31 guns and 12 colours also captured as well. And then the Allies take around about 1,800 losses of their own. But the French are on their way. They are not going to allow the LOC to fall that easily. I guess that is the main objective of today's campaign, is this LOC. Here today, I have got the notes for the scenario. There were a lot of requirements put in place. So yeah, the HRE, quite a few of these armies have to bring all the French émigré units, and then they can spend the remaining sort of money on the Crease infantry, and Crease dragoons, and Crease cuirassiers and artillery. Actually, it seems like that's the case for a lot of these. Yeah, we've got to bring a lot of the French émigré units, and then the Crease infantry and cavalry and stuff like that, etc. And then this is Revolutionary France. It's like the 9-pointer, sort of like Revolutionary France. There's like France, Italy, I think it's a theatre of war. And then they got Sancerre, which is an 8-point. And then they have Saint-Suzanne, who are both second coalition. This is technically a first coalition battle, but there are no first coalition corps, so they're using second coalition. They have captured the building while we've been wittering on as well. The HRE are in that building now with some of their Crease infantry, the Frankish troops. So yeah, I think it's 33 points versus 34 points. HRE are on the offensive, hence they have an extra point. But yeah, the objective is to hold Heinrichsdorf, which is they've just taken over there. And then they've also got to take Potsdenen, which is down here, which is this LOC. This is going to be a bit more tough to take by the looks of it. For the HRE, because they've got to cross a river as well. They are now making an assault here with the hussars, and they're getting gunned down by the building. And it looks like the gun's going to get blocked potentially. Nope, the gun is going to get allowed. They're just going to go for the gun. Well, that was kind of the French not to block it in the end with their infantry there, but yeah, it doesn't matter in the end. The camp does rout, but the gun can no longer move. But I don't think it was going to move anytime soon. It's in a pretty beautiful position, and we've got a general tied up behind, I guess, just to make sure that the gun didn't break. Yeah, this looks like a little bit more difficult now, and now all of a sudden on this side as well, the French are kind of forced into a assault. This is both of the corps by the looks of it, because they don't have the little emblem in the center of their flag. So there's 16 points here. think they're both 8 points, and then this is a 9 and a 9. So, but they are again against sort of limited with what they can bring. They have got requirements to bring certain units, so they're not be able to use their full potential effectively in some ways, you could argue. So it's probably relatively even points. That is for sure. And HRE has got very sort of like, I wouldn't say pitiful morale, but if they start to break, it all starts come tumbling down, that's for sure. The French are certainly want to get into melee, and they're doing just that over here. More French infantry going into melee, going after some of these Frankish infantry here who are trying to get set up. I don't know why he's trying to put units inside these tiny little streets. So the 160-man unit, it's not going to be able to be effectively used, but yeah, they should win that melee fight there, I'd imagine. Should the French. Combatants even, apparently, according to the HRE, but I don't think that's really the case. I'm seeing a lack of, I would say a lack of French cav, but it's all on the flanks over here. Lack of French guns, I guess. One there. Another horse gun over here. So it looks like they got just the 2 guns in total. Although they might need more, I was going to say, to try and chew their way through the masses that is the HRE armies. It looks like the building's also being stormed. That looks like it's going to get taken by whatever the French have thrown in there. I think there are more sort of like infantry as well for the HRE sort of spilling in as well. So that is all a bit risky over here. And then there's a bit of a push coming here from the HRE. They've actually managed to get this gun on this corner here by the looks of it. No, they haven't actually. Well, they have, but they haven't. That's that building retaken by the French. So for now, they are winning the scenario as it stands. I believe you need to take both if you want to win. One or the other will not do the job. The skirmishers skirmishing over here, doing what they do best. But yeah, it looks like this is where they're going to try and smash the hardest, which I don't blame them. The guns here and the skirms, this is looking like a pretty vulnerable spot. If you can get a cav unit in here, you can do a lot of damage to the French. These are carabiniers, they are grenadier skirmishers, so they actually can melee and probably withstand a charge pretty well. I would get some stakes up over here if I had any available as the French. I don't know if they brought anything to stake. These sappers. Doesn't look like it. We've got some big light infantry back here as well, so we've got some decent units being kept in reserve. And what is going on over there? I can see rear charging cavalry. Oh, that's good actually here. The French are going to get the jump on the HRE, but the HRE have managed to get the jump on the French here. They got him for, it looks like a line infantry, might be a line infantry unit. Yeah, skirmisher. They've managed to rout the cav without routing their own men, but they have actually got routed. The French look like they're having a lot of success here with that jump on the HRE cavalry. 4 micro there from the HRE player, didn't get a charge off. Might not even matter. It looks like the Hussars here might just about win this. It's incredible. They have. Lucky there. He's been bailed out of that one. There is better French cav on the way over. Some dragoons here, but they've changed their mind. They're not joining what is a losing fight, and they're going to go back. That was support from the theatres of war going over to support the cause. If that had been a bit more well coordinated, they might have got that, all of those. Now I see more HRE cav being shifted in that direction. They have so much cavalry to the HRE. It is kind of their strength. We've got 2 big boy units over here, 112-man Hussar. I think this is what they've just charged on the other flank. And then you got the got like a combat gen Hussar here as well. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the French to win any sort of cav fights, but they are gunning down these like barbarians here. These guys are eventually going to be changing sides, and they will become allies of the French. Got skirms and infantry here. Look at this, just like stood right next to these. It must be Swiss since they're in red. They stood right next to the HRE cavalry. They're going to get a volley off. Go on, get a volley off quick. Nope, too slow. HRE though is getting baited away. You could maybe go on a one-on-one there. The dragoons will win that fight. Again, it looks like. Oh, actually no. I think the gun might have been got this time. It's just Cheval chasing off the cav. They're going to follow this up. It looks like they are. They're going to go through and round. That's what I'd go for if they can. HRE cav, French cav is redlining here. Then you be careful, but they are going to just go through the gap that's been vacated by the HRE cav and just get in behind and go for these guns here. 12 pounders. Look at this, causing all sorts of problems here. The HRE infantry is in disarray. Could the French push forward, take advantage of this? And guns are going to gun crews are being abandoned. General couldn't be got here. This is Melas. This cav must be exhausted by now. It's been sprinting around the entire back lines of the Austrian army, and there you go. They are gone. French emigre army, I could almost say. This is. Yeah, I don't know. This looks more Austrian. I don't know. There's some Frankish troops here. The emigres in their blue, fighting for the loyalists. And what has been taken? Have they managed to take the other building back? They have. They managed to get back in here with the HRE. Beating the French. And they can reinvest into this building. We've got Grenadiers here. So this is a Bavarian Grenadier. And then we've got the Wiener Freiwillig. I would put the Grenadiers in there. I was going to say the 97-man Grenadiers. Perfect to go into that building. That's not being taken for a little while. Right now, France, I mean, they're doing okay. They just got to keep themselves in and around the LOCs and just, you know, hope and pray that an opportunity arises where melee can take place. They need the HRE to be aggressive on this side. They could do with being just being very aggressive somewhere as they throw away their troops. You're going to see Cav over here. The French, as Chasseur Cheval, is re-rallied in behind enemy lines. You need to be careful of that. That's now just disappeared. We won't be able to see that. Will it go for generals or stuff in the back lines? HRE does have lots of Cav actually in the back here, just sort of sat waiting for, just in case France is trying to think. Oh no, this is not looking good. Looks like skirms being routed. The Swiss also gone as well. I don't know. It might just all be skirms. I think they've been got here, but yeah, Hussars are able to push on. And again, once in behind, again, we've got Dragoons here as well doing the same thing. France, Theatre of War, it looked like he was sending some cavalry across. We had Dragoons, and also looks like Hussars of his own being sent, but they've changed their mind. They're going back to defend their own army. France at a moment here might be very vulnerable. I don't know how many of his units can form square, but hopefully enough. Already the French are retreating on this side here, abandoning guns. To be honest, look like they've already been lost. They are winning a lot of these gunfights though, because they're all light infantry here, or some light infantry here. Gunfights don't necessarily won't work. HRE will be quite happy to take gunfights in most circumstances. They've got pretty big units, like 150, 138. I mean, French are pretty large units as well. Mass kind of works with both of them. Got the Bourbon Legion here. These boys loyal to the Bourbon dynasty. Wanted to see that restored. The Republic cannot survive. At the moment, it's certainly hard pressed as the Republic. Have over here. We've got Chasseur Cheval being routed there. Still a lot of cav on this flank here that's just sitting off, just being patient. Both sides waiting for the opportunity to go in. French cav is still in the back. I think that's looking for generals. Here comes Theatre of War. He's coming down the road. And he's actually coming to support, so we couldn't see this. But it looks like he's sent troops from here and he's gone down the line and he's going over here now to support. And he might be about to slam into the side of the Bourbon Legion here. Give them a bit of a surprise. Squares have been sent to stop the Hussars here. But another little bit of a charge here. That's going in for a general assassination. Infantry just about getting across and saving that. And here comes French cav into the back. Should deal with that HRE. Very nice. But they're going to get the general here by the looks of it with the second unit, the Dragoons. Well worked there by the HRE. General's just got to kind of just hope and pray he does not break it. There you go. I think that's him gone. Yep, general dead there. And I don't know which one of the corps that now is without a general, but they are routing. Look at that. They are mass routing there. That's not good. Theatre of War, though, is slamming inside here of the HRE. Trying to get revenge. Well, Grenadiers going in here with their big bearskin hats. They're going down the line. The HRE here are also going to start to collapse. So it could be a bit of a race here to see who can collapse the other on this flank here. And they keep going in. HRE. Cav is getting routed right now as the Dragoons of the French going. I think they are much better than most things on the battlefield. Apart from, I guess, if anyone bought any heavies. Charged there by the Hussars of the Austrians. They've got in. They've routed themselves and the French infantry. Good to see Austrian artillery friendly firing itself, shooting some of those infantry there. But yeah, the French are now pushing down that road. They just need to keep going. Just do not let the HRE set up. You can try and wrap in behind them, and while that's going on, this French army maybe needs to look at trying to, you know, put the pressure back on or in and around the town. It's going to be difficult, but they're going to have to try and do something. The other army, I mean, they're not quite down an army yet, are the French, but they could be if they're not careful here. Cav fight over on the flanks, that's not looking good here for the French. Boys in bicorns usually in this period means heavy cav. Yeah, this is all like hussars here for the HRE, and they're just godlike, it seems, and they're massive units. This is I think a heavy cav. No, it's a it's the Royal Allemand, which I think is a French cav unit, actually. Like an emigre as well. And here you go. France is getting pressed hard over here. HRE getting right in their faces. Look at that. It's disgusting right now. It's just like each French unit, there is like 4 or 5 HRE units trained on it. The French have gone into melee here, trying something out. The Carnville Legion of light infantry there trying to hold the line. We're going to see French cav going in to charge, really, ideally it's something. Be careful not to rout their own men. Cav going in there again, need to be careful this doesn't, you know, cause any routing. They need to form that up again. He's going to have to try and go in somewhere. HRE are routing, but it's costing France as well precious infantry. Again, routes there. Cavalry's going to continue on. What is the other side like? Are they still pressing on hard here? No, they kind of slowed down a little bit. Cav's still having a lot of success. I'm going to get these guns here, I think, next. 5-pounder's going to go. They're going to get some more of the infantry here. The general potentially we got here. I would just bounce out of that now and just go and get the general. Get that gen. Carl, it's for the taken. And they're going to get him now, so there's going to be a general gone for both sides here. The French are going to rout that general. Can they get any more? I don't know. Let's see. Still the battling goes on over here. There you go, that's the general gone. More melees taking place here. Light infantry on the front lines. Doing what they don't usually do, and that's going into melee. France looks like he's won on this flank. I mean, it's hard to say, really. I think he's pushed forward a little bit, but it's cost them a lot. Here comes the HRE in the back, having won those cav fights we saw earlier. They're going in. What they're going after? Probably a general. Don't know. I think he's gone into the building, though. I think he's safe. France used up a lot of his cavalry early on here, and squares are not being formed. Whether they can be formed, that's a different question, I guess. Squares be, yeah, I mean, the light infantry forming squares here, that's a little bit early, I feel like, to try and do this, because it's infantry's going to just pound the square, probably break the infantry. It doesn't seem like the cavalry's actually having a lot of success actually fighting this unit here. In goes that second cav unit, having already routed with 1 infantry, routes a second. And I think this French army here is going to get mopped up relatively quickly here. These guys need to just try and defend in and around the town. They are already getting into melee, are the HRE. Looks like France has some success here. Is he now going to have to go back down the road to try? No, he doesn't look like he's going to go back down the road. He's just going to try and help his allies here. There you go. This French corps over here has started to push forward. Once again, it needs to. It's got a lot of calves stood in front of it. If they can square, there's not really anything to fear. There's still a French general back here. Needs to be careful. Make sure that no HRE cavalry gets in behind him. It's happened already on both flanks. It looks like the buildings are about to get taken. I think routing French nearby is not helping the melees here. And there you go. I think the general's died. I think that's the other one in this building here. Yep, I think he was just in that building. I think the grenadier skirmishers that were in there have died along with the general in there. And what remains of the French army is now trying to get out of here and get towards the other LOC. I don't think the guns are going to survive. Nope, they are long gone. Exhausted hussars, but they do have just enough energy in the tank to take out that gun. And there you go. HRE very much controls this half of the battlefield. Other side, not looking as clear cut, but yeah, that is half of the LOC, required LOCs in the hands of the HRE. Actually, that's all the LOCs in the hands of the HRE right now. France now has the hard job of trying to push them back out of certainly at least one, if not two.
Oui, monsieur. Your men have been routed, sir.
Here come the French. They're kind of gunning their way through these Austrians. I mean, could they just not go into melee here? I mean, there is obviously cavalry nearby. If this guy can square, can the other ones not just melee in and around them, break those skirms, and they're through? Cav on the flank here looks like that's just setting up for a bit of a fight. They got infantry supporting. A bit of unit crossing going on here. You need to be careful of this, France. And they are going to go in. Yeah, I call that a unit crossing a little bit there by the French. A bit messy, that's for sure. There go the French. The Hussars against Hussars. They say that the HRE one's going to win that one. Chasseur Cheval on this side here. They haven't got their infantry support up here either. And yeah, the French just lost that easily. They've got one Dragoon back here, which is a reasonable unit. I'm surprised that was not pushed. I mean, they said they kept, instead of a light cab, could have been just kept in the middle here. It's not really anything to guard. I would have sent the other Dragoon over there. I mean, there is a general to guard, granted, but got a solid line of infantry here. Cav should hold it. That should hold back any sort of cav push. They are going to try a charge here, I think, now. The Hussars, I think, are going to try and go through the middle of the line here. Maybe they are hoping to get that general. Didn't form square. I don't know if they could have. General is going to come forward. He's going to try and, I guess, pop some rallies. Side shots here by the square should break that cavalry. Did just enough. And they're meleeing in and around the town again. Here come the remains of that other theatre of war. They are now marching up the road, arriving. The other theatre of war, it's kind of expending itself. I thought it might have had a lot more joy to break through. I feel like the element of surprise is long gone. The Grenadiers are still doing a great job. They're chasing off skirms. Squares are being formed here. I guess that's just to resist melee charges. It does do a little bit of a benefit. There you go, they routed that unit. Success there. Looks like the Hussars did break through here, actually, but they've been countered by Dragoons. It's the General. General is routed, I think. Maybe? No, he's not. He's still alive. Trying to work out which routing French flag belonged to who. Dragoons here are still trying to run around. They're trying to just break a lot of stuff here. Oh, these Freikorps get out swords. I don't see that often in Western armies. They've routed. French trying to mop up that gap there. They need to push forward. They've got a lot of infantry here doing nothing right now. A lot of infantry stood here. I mean, there is cav, obviously, they could be scared of. A lot of infantry doing nothing. There's just skirms ahead of you. Get that moving, or get it down the line and get back into the in and around the town here. A massive unit cross there by the French Dragoons, just crossing those skirms. Haven't really done anything with it, so I guess it's not really a unit cross that much. Yeah, I thought they were going to go in for a charge or something, but yeah, they have actually managed to get rid of the HRE on this flank by the most part. The other HRE armies, though, are on their way, and they're semi-fresh, to be honest. Yeah, like this Landwehr is pretty healthy. Yeah, this Freikirch Kreis infantry is also pretty healthy. Yeah. It's going to be tough, that's for sure. There's still a lot of cav as well that's still yet to be used. Royal Allemand is not moving for some reason, but they need to get that moving. We've got a Cuirassier here. Hohenzollern's. don't know I think this is the arriving cavalry. We've got the Bourbon Legion here. They've been resisted by infantry. Yeah, France is going to hurry on and just defeat these final few cavalry units and infantry over here. I mean, they've got the general still alive, which is part of the problem. That's going to keep rallying troops, rallying infantry units that aren't too battered. So there will always be a bit of a threat over here. They actually haven't even captured the building yet, the French. Struggling, but they are, I think, getting there. It's those Bavarian grenadiers. You can see some of them here. They're what are holding that building. Bourbon Legion there tried another charge on a different unit. I guess that formed square and repelled them. I'd start making a bit of a roadblock here. Get the artillery and the and some infantry up here, because like right now the HRE is just kind of marching forward in pieces, and you can maybe pick a few of these off. Let's send the dragoons back over there as well. At least one of them. They don't need to push the HRE too far actually. If they just take the LOC, and that's a victory for them. And then once again, they have to come onto the French. Imagine being one of these Bavarian grenadiers, like in that building, and you're just seeing this horde of troops in the way. You're like, hold a few minutes longer, men. The cavalry is coming. Oh, they're redlining though. I think it's going to be the curse of the commentator in a moment here. I think these guys might just break any moment now, and the French will occupy that building. This is like chopped and changed sides as that gun. Oh, sorry, as that a house so many times. I wish you could chop and change like holding guns. That'd be really cool. Be a cool mechanic. There you go. The building has fallen again back into the hands of the French. It's like the second or third time. But yeah, it'd be really cool if you could like capture artillery pieces and then turn them on the enemy. I've said it in so many videos. CA, make NTW 2 and then make that possible. We want to see a Napoleon 2 and then also see like mechanics where you can reuse, like turn guns on enemies. Because that's happened in history. Like so many times people like capture gun emplacements and then turn the artillery, especially with small piece artillery like 4-pounders or something like that. You turn them on the enemy and then just start firing them at the enemy infantry. Very effective. That was a very bold charge here by the Bourbon Legion Hussars. Even think as they took a long detour to try and maybe get that gun well guarded by dragoons, which I believe this might be Les Blancs. I don't know why, but I guess just because of all the white horses, I think it might be the Les Blancs. Could be wrong, it might not be. Some infantry and skirmishers look like they are returning for the HRE. Not going to be of much effect in use. This large cavalry force, though, is certainly still going to be of effect in use. Oh, and that French cav is still stuck out here. That's Chasseur Cheval. Oh, this is a Hussar. Sorry, not a Chasseur Cheval, but it's stuck out here, and it's still hunting for generals. I think maybe trying to get Anton Satsare here, maybe. We've got the number 60 Gouaile here, Hungarian line infantry. He goes on to become a commander at the Battle of Leipzig, is that guy. But yes, I hope you guys have been enjoying the NTW3 Napoleonic historical action today. And if you have and want to see more of it on the channel, make sure to hit that sub button as we work towards 14k subs. And don't forget to leave a like and comment as well. And let me know if there's any certain historical battles that you want to see have done. If you do comment one and it's one I've already done, I'm going to give you the link to the battle that we've already done. Some of them we've done multiple times. Like Waterloo. I think we've done it 600 times. But yeah, if there's any battles that we haven't done on the... like, look through the playlist. It's quite a good idea. There's a huge... NTW3 historical battle playlist, which has got like well over 150, if not going on like 170 videos on it now. And it has like, yeah, we're trying to get as many like the major battles, if not all of the battles done for the Napoleonic Wars, and we're working on the revolutionary ones as it seems here today as well. any battles you'd like to see try and be recreated. We can obviously only work with whatever limitations that the mods like allows. Like we don't have some like theaters like the First Coalition, and we don't have certain commanders as well, obviously because they're either not relevant enough. If it's like a divisional commander, it's not needs like a battle, just like a division. Probably going to just be like under a corps. That we could probably find the core easily enough, but yeah, there are limitations. So we do, and for balancing, sometimes we also have to use other cores as well. Otherwise, it'd be very one-sided, and no one would want to play. No one wants to play an unfair battle. There you go. Dragoons routing skirms. Not a great use of the dragoons, to be honest. And they're very much out there on their own, isolated, and the hussars here are hunting them down. That French cav rout. Yes, that French cav in the back did rout. The hussars are gone. Routed, I presume, by that hussar. There's one less French cav, and they're going to get this one as well, actually. Hussars there challenging the dragoons. Dragoons are going to lose that fight. A, because numbers, also they're exhausted. Already charging at skirms. It's just a very good hussar by the looks of it as well. A Blankenstein. And now they can get that hussar in behind, and that general there is very much under threat for the French. Charge going straight through the center here, again going after guns by the looks of it. Hussars are getting in until they got the gun. Infantry cannot save their artillery. French might as well just charge. Look how close you are. Did you not just charge? They've gone into melee over here. Oh, that is actually French grenadiers going in there. They are going down the line. I mean, I guess if the HRE gets fully destroyed, actually, no, they are going to start to go over and capture the cap point. I was going to say is the whole army here. Otherwise, if they just win it in the battlefield, you can argue that the French have held both LOCs. They can just, in theory, after the end of the battle, just march over and capture it. Same with the HRE, I guess. Right now, if the battle's to end, it would be a draw. Both hold one LOC. There's a long way still to go in this. I don't think we're going to be like one side is going to just, you know, be happy with a draw. They're going to go for that victory. The French right now certainly looking the worst of the two sides here. They are breaking more HRE here in the center. But every time they do this, they are isolating that one unit just to get side-shotted. Because they're retreating with everything else and just still advancing with one or two. Cavalry here, the Royal Allemand managing to smash with there. Infantry there. And the French rout because the other unit there right by them is also routing. So important is morale. Why killing generals is important. If you can break lesser units, it will then affect more expensive units because they've got comrades around them routing. Morale is so important. More important than just wiping out units. The kills do not matter. Just break armies. Obviously, then you do have to do some killing. But breaking the army is better than killing off. Melee taking place here. There's one benefit for the French, if they can just get their armies inside the town here and just kind of keep supplying the building. Might be able to wear down the HRE here just in melee. I want to try and get as many of these guys back so they're not getting gunned down. That general needs to get back as well. Get him into the building potentially. Get him safe. I think there already might be one in there. Yeah, I don't know what men we have in it. Oh, it is grenadiers in here, so this is going to be tough to take. And actually, there's another general here. He needs to think about getting inside the building. Get as many generals as possible into that building. Otherwise, HRE Cavalry is going to sniff them out and kill them all. Yeah, Wissembourg right now is looking like at the moment it's going to be another HRE victory. A bit like in history. History looks like it's going to be recreated. I've got Grenadiers here going in. These are German Grenadiers. This is the sort of unit you need to storm it. Oh, it's not from the Grenadiers. They're Dutch. Or from that area anyway. But yeah, still, they're the sort of units you need to storm a building. And they've routed here, have the HRE. That might affect the Balloon Grenadiers going in. It's certainly affecting some of these Frankish troops here as well. We're going to see more bayonet charges going down. Whose general just died there? Oh, it is the one that was retreating. He has been sniped. I did say he should have got back a little bit quicker. Couldn't manage it, and now as the remains of his army is going to get picked off here by hussars. There you go, they've all routed. Now the town fight's getting a little spicy. I think they routed their own men rather than actually the French there, so that's helped there. Oh, we do have 6 points. There was 6 points, so the HRE. I think this is the healthier of the two armies. This is the one from the other flank in the end. What are they sending into the building? Oh, it's those Fry Corps again. Oh, I think it is. What just went in there? That general's bodyguard, I think, just got shunted in there. I think it is. Yeah, I think that's the general bodyguard that just got shunted in there for the French. Another general just died. I think that might be in this building here. Certainly an enemy general. It's certainly not this Melas. I would say allied general dead. But it's not looking good. Not looking good. The final sort of death throes here for the French are taking place. Cavs still actually having some effect. We've got cuirassiers here just still charging around in and amongst the streets. And it looks like the assault here at Wissembourg is going to be effective. It does seem as though the HRE are going to yeah, the HRE is going to be successful. The French are going to need to send a reinforcement army, which they do in history. Hence, you have the Second Battle of Wissembourg. It's an army sent. It's Hoche's Army of the Mosel is sent, which then takes part in this second battle, which involves Austria, Prussia, Bavaria, and Hessen-Kassel. No French emigres supposedly at this one. And both sides have around about 35,000 troops. So we might have to try and recreate that one next. I feel like that might be a pretty impressive one to try and recreate. But yes, the Battle of Wissembourg. There's not a lot left with the HRE here, to be fair. I'm seeing a lot, like maybe like 16, 17 units still alive. Not a lot in the grand scale of things for NTW3 and also for the HRE. There you go, the building's been recaptured. I think they'll be blasting into it with their like line infantry here, and then also they were meleeing as well. But there you go, the end results should be on the screen for you here today. I think this is from, I can't remember whose perspective this is from. This is from one of the HRE players' perspective. It might be from Malcador's perspective. I think Johnny sent it in to me, but I think he was playing as one of the French players. I think he was on the far right flank and got killed off early on, while his allies kind of abandoned him and moved to assist the other French force. There you go, Grenadiers, the Bavarian Grenadiers, 311 kills is insane. And then we've got also Hussars here with 199 kills, 139 kills from the Freikorps, and then we have 123 kills from the Hussars as well. But yeah, there are the rest of the kills. If you want to look at those. But yeah, really the Bavarians doing all the work, holding the building for a long time, killing a lot of Frenchies. Even the general getting 1 kill, very nice. But there you go. That is today's NTW3 historical battle, the first battle of Wissembourg. And yeah, history has been recreated. The Austrian-led alliance has been victorious. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, like I said, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and all that shenanigans. And I'll see you in the next NTW3 battle. I definitely recommend as well, if you haven't, check out some of the videos on your screen now. Some corkers there. But until next time, adios.